Organizing Walk4babies takes a whole team of very dedicated volunteers. The same is true of caring for our precious babies in the NICU. Today we're going to break a 9-year tradition of having a neonatologist speak at Walk4babies and have a NICU nurse share some words with us. Although we met many wonderful nurses during our NICU stay, there were 2 of them that did primary care for Amelia and truly loved her like she was their own. Laurie Fortune has worked with the NICU for 30 years. She took great care of Amelia. And I'm sure she took great care of many of your children too. Here's Laurie.
Hi, my name is Laurie Fortune. I just celebrated my 30th year here at Acton Children's Hospital as a NICU nurse. I had the privilege of being one of the community's primary nurses. A note before I came to know Sam and Shelby. Little did I know what those critical days 10 years ago would have led to this day and the past 10 years. Over the past 10 years, Walk4babies has raised money that has directly impacted the care in our NICU. We now have state-of-the-art isolettes at the top, pops up and turns into a radiant warmer. We can access the critically ill infant better and keep them warm while we're taking care of them. The height can be adjusted, which may be a small thing, but as a nurse from back in the day, we had to punch in those portholes all day and leave with an aching back and neck. It means a lot, that pedal that goes up and down. It's also very helpful for the moms and dads. The mom that can't get out of the chair, we can lower the isolate, and she can be right there, nose to nose, eyes to eyes with her baby. Any of you that were in the old unit and had to try and do kangaroo care in a wooden chair or rocker, we now have beautiful kangaroo lounge chairs that lay back and really allow mom and baby to relax and bond. Walk4babies has provided each new family with a 2-week free parking pass. Simple but oh so helpful. Dads are sometimes going back and forth from hospital to hospital, torn between mom and baby. For all these things and so much more, I want to personally thank Sam and Shelby and all of you that come year after year to raise money and make our NICU a better, more comfortable place for families and nurses. Walk4babies has also done something for me. Personally, it keeps me back year after year. I'm going to wait a little bit to reveal exactly what that is. So when Sam asked me if I would speak this year at Walk4babies, my first response was, I would be honored. However, as soon as those words left my mouth, the reality of standing up here and speaking almost sent me into a full-blown panic attack. But Sam, in his calm and encouraging voice, said, we want to hear from the nurse's perspective. So, here goes. First, I must say we have a great NICU team here at Children's. Our docs, NNPs, respiratory therapists, physical therapists, OTs, surgeons, and nurses are all top-notch, and all are here for one thing, the babies. We love babies. I believe the NICU nurse is different from any other kind of nurse. Yes, we all work 12-hour shifts, some through the night. We all work holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, weekends. A lot of the times wanting to be with our own families. but these all come with just being a nurse. What sets a NICU nurse apart from any other nurse is the connection, the bond that Sam and Shelby and many of you have experienced. The bond that is formed between nurse, baby, family, and even extended family. From the moment we hear a baby is being transported, we must set up the room. We gather equipment with worst case scenario in mind, so we are prepared for anything. We check all equipment and begin to warm the isolette. We check the equipment again. We are in intensive care, a neonatal intensive care. After my room is set up, my equipment ready, I ask, boy or girl? Why does that matter? Because I know there's a family attached to this baby. A mom, a dad, who have dreamt of this day, planned for this day, anticipated the joy of a new life. But none of these hopes and dreams are included, or dreams included a trip to the NICU. Many of you never even knew a NICU existed. So I prepared their tiny little beds with pink flowers or brightly colored dinosaurs to welcome and celebrate each tiny fragile life. From the time Dad walks into the room, usually with that shell-shocked, deer in the headlights kind of look, the NICU nurse is not only taking care of a fragile, critical infant, but a scared dad, and later an exhausted, sore, apprehensive mom with hormones and fear raging through her. The nurse becomes a comforter, a teacher. She is there to calm and to encourage, to listen, on top of skillfully caring for their critically ill infant. I've laughed, cried, hugged, done the pee-pee dance, celebrated that first poop, shared stories with families. I've rocked their babies in the middle of the night when Mom and Dad needed to sleep, sung lullabies, read books, and whispered, "Mommy loves you," through the portholes. And too many times, I've held and rocked by babies while they've taken their last breaths after they've fought so hard, but modern medicine just wasn't enough, and their tiny little bodies could take no more. Harder yet, I've had to give a baby to their mother while she watches her precious infant slip away. I feel her pain. I'm a mom too. But in this roller coaster world of the NICU, and you all have your stories, your ups, your downs, we all become connected. I have dinner with the family about once a year for the past 22 years. They lost their son after 6 months in the NICU. I'll never forget. He died on Mother's Day. And there isn't a Mother's Day that I don't think of Andrew and his mom and dad. I keep in touch with a now spunky former 25-weeker that decided to be born here while her mom and dad were visiting for the holidays from California. They spent one of the worst winters here before she was stable enough to fly back. Her family has since moved back here, and Zoe, she is going to be a superstar someday. My heart ached for a mom who could only sit next to her son and hold his hand because we had to keep him still after surgery. I jumped for joy when I saw Simon at Walk4babies and he finally had his tube out. I celebrate each of my little Tai-Tai's accomplishments and marvel at the strength of him and his mom and dad. He spent 4 months in the NICU. I rejoiced when he finally went home, only to cry again when he was admitted to the PICU for several months. We celebrated his first birthday there. He's finally home. Actually, he's here today and thriving and makes me laugh every time he gives me the raspberries. As NICU nurses, we assess tiny lungs, heart sounds, pulses, start IVs, draw labs, report our findings to the docs and the practitioners. We teach moms and dads to change a diaper, take a temp, despite wires and tubes and portholes. We place babies on mom's chest with those tubes and wires, and we dim the lights so they can enjoy that special time together. We step in and give life-saving breaths and compressions when needed. We celebrate each and every little milestone. We laugh together, cry together, and just sit silently holding a hand. Being a NICU nurse is demanding, mentally, physically, and emotionally. We are the keepers of the most precious gift of all, a baby. Which brings me to the one most important thing that Walk4babies has done for me personally, and that is this day. This day every year. I can't wait for this day. I get to come and see all my babies, their families, some of them half grown already. I get to catch up with their lives and what's happening. I watch all those once tiny, weak, fragile bodies running, laughing, playing. I see the joy and happiness each one has brought to their families. I leave here every year recharged, loving my job and confident that this is why I do what I do. And I look forward to the next year. Thank you to all who make Walk4babies happen. You provide a venue where families can come together and celebrate their miracles, and where we, the nurses, the docs, and the NICU team can come and witness all the lives that are touched by Akron children.